Good morning, Panther fans. How's everybody doing on this? It is Sunday, right? Yeah, it's I lose days, man. Now that it's now
Sunday
that
the
I'm
30th.
it is just about Halloween. We had a good time on the stream last night. It was definitely if you're a fan of ridiculously horrible, bad, terrible Boston accents, you have to check out Kyle. Just trying. He was just he was trying last night as part of his Halloween shtick, but Panthers win 5-3. And good game. Absolutely must have 2 points before the road trip. And Stu was at the game, and Stu has stories. Stu had an interestingly good time. Stu, how you doing, buddy?
Doing great, everybody. Morning. Welcome to Flying Fluffy Hockey, the number one Panther fan podcast in the world. So, yeah, speaking of Boston accents, let me give a shout out to my good friend Ian. He's from Boston, Bruin fan, and came to see the game, and we had a good time yesterday. I also want to give a shout out to Manny, who sat in front of me, and last but not least, Dana for the tickets. Great seats, 115. So my story yesterday. So as some of you may not know, the owner of my company did not renew our company suite this year, so very disappointed. So the suite has not been sold yet. So each game that I go to, I run up there to see who's in the suite. And last night there's a whole bunch of guys from Finland. They rented it for the game.
Right.
Really funny. But anyway, as I'm going into the suite, who pops out of the suite next to ours was Mr. Ed Jovanovski. So I'm like, hey, Jovo, what's going on? So he looked at me funny. And I said, you probably don't remember me. Why should you? It's been like ages. I said, I worked for the team. I left, in 18. But I said, we used to play pool together in your rookie year. What was the name of that place on 18th Street in Boca? Oh, Gatsby's. I said, that's right. I said, and then I took my hat off. I said, do you recognize me now? And he looked, and I'm like, it's okay. So I said, listen, I do a podcast where, my friend does live streams and whatnot, and I do game reviews with him. Randy Mullen's been on, Bill Lindsay's been on, George Richard. We'd love to have you come on the podcast. So he was like, I could see he was thinking about it, and I didn't want to pressure him. So I said, listen, Randy's got my number. If you decide that you want to come on, let me know, and we'd love to have you on. So it's 50-50, guys. My next step, if I don't hear from him in a week, I'll reach out to Randy and say, look, I saw Joe at the game and he was thinking about it, but maybe you could just tell him the type of, experience that you've had, so he knows it's a comfortable thing.
Right.
And,
right.
He should do it. So
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
And maybe I'll throw him a tweet or something like that too. But that explains the thumbnail. That explains the thumbnail. Which is that.
Yeah, it took a good picture.
Yeah, it was a good picture. All right. So there was a hockey game last night.
So there was a hockey game, but during the
who was the guy that scored? Some guy who hadn't scored before.
Yeah. So if
what was this guy's name?
If you guys were on before the game started,
yeah,
during the stream, I said Barkov's getting his first goal on the power play.
Yeah.
And I said Kachuk's going to get another goal because Brady's going to get a goal. And
right. That's what he said.
Happened.
That's what he said.
Exactly what happened. So, yeah, 53 shots. Incredible. I wonder how many shot attempts. But, yeah, we came out looking good. Got a 2-0 lead for Hagee. Yeah. Oh, how about that pass by
Kachuk? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to do the Hoobie, whatever.
Yeah. Hoobie doobie who.
Yeah. That was a spinner. That was a Hoobie spinorama back pass behind the back, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, that's who it reminded me of. But what a difference taking Reinhardt off that line.
Yes.
Kachuk up there.
Yes.
Okay. It doesn't matter that he's a left-handed shot playing on the right wing. He has given so much energy to those guys.
Right.
And you can see it's getting better each game.
Yes.
You know what
Yes.
I mean? And the more they
Yep.
practice and the more that they play with each other, that chemistry is gonna it's
Yeah.
gonna solidify. It's gonna get
Right.
nice and tight. So
Yes.
things are looking up for the top line. Barkov's alive again. He certainly didn't look at the first 6 games. So
No, he didn't. He didn't.
now we just got to get Reinhart going, and then again, as I said in the last video, Maurice doesn't want to take White off the Lundell line because that line's working. But
Right.
I just think if he moves, if he moves White up and puts
Well,
Reinhart on the third line, get him going. We really need to get Reinhart going.
I have a different take, somewhat.
Okay.
The Lundell, White, the Reining line is the second line. I mean, if by, I don't know what the numbers are, and I know how they're laying it out, where Bennett is still 2C, but in terms of performance on the ice and performance of the line overall, that's the second line. As long as Reinhardt's not scoring, Balser's not scoring, Bennett's not. I mean, that line is somewhat kind of invisible.
I sent you that list that showed that the Lundell line is the third best forward line in hockey, right? Yeah. As of now.
It's the second line. To me,
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and look, the other thing is the stalls. As somebody said in the chat, they weren't wet matches last night. We're used to around here. You have to forgive us. We're used to the Panthers got this old guy, and he sucks, and we complain about him all year. But somehow these guys don't suck.
Well,
they don't suck. I mean, come on.
He's been inconsistent.
Mark Stahl.
Mark Stahl. He played good. Eric Stahl continues to impress. He just hasn't. He hasn't scored. He's doing his thing, and eventually he'll pop on.
Yeah.
As I said last video, Cousins showed me nothing. So as far as I'm concerned,
right.
Stahl, ride him until whatever. Yeah. Eventually, he'll be. Cousins will be back in. But for right now, I like the lineup. I like the power play.
Yes.
Montour. What can you say about Montour?
I know.
Besides getting the winning goal. By the way, that second Verhaeghe goal, that Montour just put it in his wheelhouse, and he one-timed it, and it was right in front of me.
Yeah.
And as soon as I saw that puck going in his sweet spot, one-timer, I said, that's going in.
Yep.
Tkachuk had another goal taken away from him.
Yeah.
But the turning point of the game for me was the goalie interference call on Ottawa.
Yeah.
That was questionable. Okay. And I will tell you, because you may not have seen it on TV, but Bobrovsky was getting ready to go in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been the third goal that he let up in like 5 minutes or 6 minutes.
Yeah, and I think that's a bad look. I mean, look, Mike was positioned for the shot. He wasn't positioned for Verhaeghe to kick the damn puck in. So I don't understand why they were going to pull Knight that fast, but it kind of gives you a clue as to how Maurice thinks, I guess.
I'm just telling you what I saw.
Yeah, no, I know they
right across from me, and I'm like, he's taking him out.
Right.
And then maybe he just went on the ice for it. Maybe I read it wrong. But you got to give props to the coaching staff and the video coach in particular for catching that, because it was a very subtle kick to the skate. But that was the game, and that would have made it 3-3.
Right.
With 11 minutes left.
Yeah.
So, but I'm glad we came back, and and then what can you say about Lundell? Baby Barkov.
Yeah.
Unselfish to get Tkachuk a goal against his brother. I mean,
right. Yeah.
Hats off to Lundell, huh?
Exactly. Exactly.
Lundell's going to be a fucking superstar.
I look, people call me crazy. People call me crazy. It's like and then I keep I don't know what to say. You know what I'm trying to say.
We both, just like Ekblad, when I heard the name Anton Lundell from Finland, I started watching videos and
Right.
I said, this is the guy they need to take. I was
Yeah.
just super stoked and very surprised
That
that
he
he
was
was still
there
around with, you know,
with
excuse
12.
me, with the 12th pick. Yep.
Yeah. That's
So we
crazy.
lucked out. Mahura continues to impress. Good. I mean,
Somebody somebody told me the Ducks fans are pissed off about Mahura. So
oh, I'm sure.
I was correct about that. Like we would have been pissed about Carlson.
Well, you and I got upset about Connaughton, and Mahura puts
Yeah.
Connaughton
Oh
to
yeah, yeah, yeah. And he's
so
young.
Mahura was solid
He,
and steady.
yeah, yeah. I mean, look, I said this last night. People, when people were asking us if we miss Uyghur, right now we don't even miss Ekblad. Okay.
Yeah, I saw
I mean,
that
we
on the
miss him on the
recap.
power play. We miss his offense, but in terms of defense,
Right.
there's nobody out there going, "Oh God, get this guy off the ice. We need Ekblad back."
And
So
that's why there's no reason to rush him back.
there you go.
No
There you go.
reason. Let him rest the whole month of November. There's a long season
Right.
ahead of us. If they
Right.
rush him back, God forbid he hurts himself again, that's on
Right.
that's on that's on the
Yeah.
coaches and the trainers.
Right. Right. Right.
I said last video, groin pulls are really tricky.
No, it's no
So,
doubt. It's no doubt.
what do you think of Knight's play?
I thought he looked okay. He made some really good saves that kept us in the game. He looked calm under pressure. There was a lot of there was a lot of I mean I think it was the second or third goal was like a shooting gallery type thing where they just kept peppering with shots. We couldn't get the puck out of the zone and it finally went in. There weren't I think there was one goal where you kind of looked at it and you'd like him to have
The
that.
Brady
But
Kachuk goal, he didn't come out and cut the angle
yeah,
off.
he didn't come out. That's the one.
But
He didn't cut the angle. Yeah.
that goal by Pinot, Giroux fed him perfectly.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was on the
Look,
power play.
Knight is Knight is never going to look as good as he can look until he's playing on a regular basis because he's still a young developing goaltender. So if he makes these little mistakes, he has to wait a week to 10 days
Yeah.
to get back in the game. So you're not going to be able to judge him until okay he's the guy and he's getting 50 60 games and he gets those stretches of 5 6 games in a row because as a young goaltender you need that to take that next step. So I believe this is kind of going to be who he is
Yeah.
until he's not the
Until
backup.
he takes over.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Yeah,
Until
yeah,
he takes over as the number one. Yeah. It's a shame
yeah,
that he can't get more ice time, but hey, Bob at 10 mil, gotta
yeah, and
gotta
right.
gotta squeeze every drop that we can get out of him while he's still and he's playing good.
He's fine. Look, I know Bob had a couple of rough games in terms of the save percentage looking really bad, but he didn't suddenly turn into 3 goals into 14 shots every week.
And again, a lot of those goals were, forwards not coming back,
The
defense
forward's not coming back.
missing assignments.
Right.
So you really can't put every goal on Bob. Sure,
Randy,
he let in, he will always let in those,
yeah,
long shots, whatever,
right,
especially early in the game. See, for me, if Bob gets through the first period with 1 goal or less,
right,
we're okay.
right. And look,
It's 2 and 3 goals that I worry about.
Randy said last night that, and this was on the broadcast, he said that Maurice said that they're not really worried about winning games right now. That right now, what's more important is they're putting in the system and getting used to playing a sustainable type of hockey that will carry them through the playoffs. So,
I'm okay with that.
what's funny about it is what Maurice said, after the first 20 games, we'll evaluate, which I kind of found funny because that was how I did my season preview video was every 20 games. So when he said, I didn't say anything on the stream, but I was like, I heard that. I heard that.
Well, Coach, thanks for
Yeah,
watching.
yeah, we
Thanks for
appreciate it
listening.
genuinely.
We know better than you coaches. Okay. All right. You're listening to the man that predicted the Huberto trade, like his crystal ball. But
Good crystal
the
ball.
move with Kachuk up to the first line, getting Reinhardt out of there.
Yeah, perfect.
We said get somebody to get Barkov going, and I mean it's just his energy is infectious.
Right, right, right.
You know,
And that's kind of why I was calling for Heponiemi was I was like, look, get somebody up there that will force Barkov to go full speed. I didn't think Kachuk because that line was kind of doing good, with Bennett and everything.
we both of us didn't talk about it, but that was, I think, for every fan that was the dream to put Kachuk up with
Yeah,
Barkov.
right, right, right,
You
right.
know,
And without Duclair and without Ekblad's offense, you kind of need to go that top heavy. You know what I mean? When Duclair comes back, it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. Because if you want to leave Kachuk with Barkov, if you move Reinhardt back with Lundell, now you got White and Balsers. What are you going to do? Where are you going to put them when Duke comes back?
think about this: Barkov had a goal.
Right.
Kachuk had another goal. Verhage had 2 goals,
Yeah.
4 goals,
Yeah.
and I don't know how many assists those guys got. I'm going to throw it out there. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think they got 8 points, 9 points
Right.
between them,
Right. Right.
and it's only their second game playing with each other.
Yeah. No, that
So
has to stick.
as I said, it's only going to get better. The more they
Right.
practice and the more they play with each other, I think Barkov will finally, that sting will finally go away, and he'll realize he has a player of the caliber, maybe better than Huberto, all around. Not taking anything away from Hubie, that the best, still in my mind, the best
Right.
passer in the league. But that pass last night, like,
Oh,
it was 19 on his jersey, but it could have well been 11.
yeah. Yeah.
That was
Very
a Huberto
Huberto-esque.
pass.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. And I don't know my Batman history, so somebody can tell me. But did Adam West have different people that played Batman over the year or that played Robin over the years? Did he have it? I'm not a
Well,
Batman
well
aficionado, so I don't know.
on the TV show,
Yeah.
no.
No, it was the same guy the whole time.
Burt Ward was
Burt Ward.
Robin.
Yeah. Oh well, there goes that theory.
That show came out my era.
Yeah. 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 Well, point is, if it got Barkov going, it's good. Um,
He had a big smile on his face, Eric.
Oh, I know. I saw it. Yeah, they showed
Like,
it.
whew.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, he
It's
looks
just,
like himself now. So we're good there. We need that. Now we got to figure out what the hell to do with the Bennett line because
yep.
Poor Sam Bennett is just like, oh, thanks for just sending the guys down to me that aren't pulling their weight. You know what I mean? Not that Balsers started off like he was going to be really good, but he seemed to be a guy that would be there for more of like helping, when Bennett and Kachuk cause a mess, right? So now you got Reinhardt, and you know,
Yeah, I'm telling you.
I have to say something though here because I'm just spitballing, okay? But it ain't like Reinhardt's playing well, and it ain't like we're short centers, okay? And we need to clear space for when Duclair comes back. Sam Reinhart, I know we just traded for him. I'm
30,
just saying,
30 plus goals.
somebody has to go. Stu, I mean, somebody has to go making
I
more
know.
than 3 million.
I know.
I'm just saying, I don't
I
want to do
know.
it either. But if he continues to play this poorly, I mean, you know, I don't know
Well,
what I don't know what to do. It because now it's affecting his game. Now he can't even barely get the puck on his stick. You know what I mean? He's not playing well. like that Lundell line, I would instead of switching more guys around, I would just move that Lundell line and make that the second line and see how that works out.
I'm telling you, as a last resort, things ain't working for Reinhardt. Put him back with Lundell. Things will happen. I'm saying it again. October
right,
30th. Put Lundell and Reinhardt back together with
right.
Lucianen. Move White up with Balsers and Bennett and see what
Yeah,
happens.
yeah. I'll be willing to get. Look, I'm not saying I want to trade Sam Reinhart, but I'm still looking forward because they're talking about Duclair coming back December, January. It's like somebody has to go.
Yeah,
It's just math.
there's another player I wouldn't rush back. So
Right,
and Stahl with Lumberg and Hornquist is just a better looking line than Cousins.
right.
And then, I got to make the observation again. Every time there was a discussion between the captains, it was Hornquist out there, not Barkov.
Right. Right. Right.
Why
Right.
don't you just give it up? Make Kachuk the captain.
Well,
Make Hornquist the captain. I don't think they'll make Hornquist the captain because after this year,
right.
he's not getting re-signed.
Right. Right. Right.
So, but
No, I
anyway,
think.
that's not important.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So let's talk about the swing. We got Tuesday night in Arizona.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
late
And then
night.
I think Thursday is San Jose. It's Tuesday, Thursday,
Yeah, so it's
Saturday,
Tuesday,
Sunday.
Thursday, San Jose, and then Saturday's LA and Sunday's Anaheim.
Anaheim. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for me, just so you guys know what's going on, I'm going to visit my daughter and my grandchildren in Israel. So that's a 7-hour time difference between Florida, 7 hours ahead. Now, the last time I went in 2019, they were home games. So the games were at 7. So I literally started watching the games at 2 a.m.
Right.
Now, being
Actually
the
works
West
better.
Coast, I'm looking at 5:30 in the morning. And I don't have that NHL 66 link anymore. So got to figure out how I'm going to be able to watch the game so I can do the reviews. So we'll have to figure that out.
Yeah.
Worst comes to worst. Now I do have, Verizon, and obviously Bally's is on Horizon. So I got to see how I can, I'll find a way. Let's put it that way. Worst comes to worst, I'll go on YouTube and just look at the highlights, and I'll let you kind of.
Yeah, well, we'll have to figure it out. I don't know what I'm doing either because with Matthias here, I don't know if I'm going to be able to stream the games and stay up that late because by the time I'm done, you're looking at 2 a.m. and I can't really sleep that late because he's up early. So it's just going to be a wonky week. It's going to be a very unnormal week. And then when Stu gets back and the Panthers get back from, 10, some of these games start at 10:30.
Yeah, I think one of the games on the weekends, like an afternoon game.
No, it's one I think it's 10 and then 9 or 9:30. They're all late games.
Are you sure?
Let me check.
I looked at the schedule. It had one game at 6 o'clock and one game at 4 o'clock, I believe. And if that's our time.
Let's look. I thought I remembered. No, Saturday the 5th against the Kings is at 10:30, and Sunday the 6th is at 9 o'clock against the Ducks. They're all late. It's the following Saturday. The home game against the Oilers is 4 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. So yeah, all 4 of those games.
Okay.
It's going to be a week. It'll be. I have no idea what the schedule is going to be because I don't know if I'm going to be able to stay up. I don't know if Stu's going to be able to see the games when we're going to do the reviews because when he's getting up, I'm going to bed. So we'll work it out. It just won't be the normal schedule at all. It'll just be randomly. We might end up at midnight. You might see the review post or something like that.
Well, I have ExpressVPN, so I have it set to Miami, so we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll
we'll
see.
figure it out.
I'm taking my laptop, so we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna keep positive and say that I'm gonna be able to watch the games.
How long are you going to be gone?
I'll be gone 2 weeks.
2 weeks. So you got right.
Technically, I'm coming back on the 10th,
Okay.
but yeah. So Friday, I'll be back, and then I
Okay.
think we have a game on the 12th.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's the Edmonton game.
Um, the
I'd
Edmonton
really
game,
like to go to that game.
they were eyeballing. Yeah, that's the Edmonton game at 4 o'clock. That's the game they were eyeballing Ekblad to come back.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll be interesting.
I always listen. I don't want to miss a game when McDavid is playing.
Right, right. So, all right, that'll do it for today. Panthers win 5-3. It's going to be a long week, man. I got the Dolphin game too today. That's the other thing. The football coverage starts this week. So, um,
You do realize that we put out over 100 shots on goal in the last two games.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, obviously it didn't work out in Chicago, but I mean Philadelphia.
Right.
But and we didn't have Carter Hart to face.
Right.
I thought Forsberg played okay. I
He
don't
made some
think
good saves.
he wasn't dynamite like Hart was. But
No, but I mean, he still made like 50 something saves, though, bro. I mean, you know,
now I saw something on Twitter. This will be the last thing
yeah,
I should have screenshotted it, but it looks like in the third period, our shots on goal, the first few games were, middle double digits, 15, 16, thereabouts.
right.
In the last couple of games, it was 5, 4. They,
Hmm.
they kept the shots under 10.
Yeah, yeah. You mean
They,
allowed?
they've buckling down. I like, this is what I was calling for before the season started, because last year it was run and gun, and they don't play run
Right,
and gun in the playoffs. So I like
right,
the fact that Maurice is instilling this playoff mentality. Let's play playoff hockey during the regular season. Hey, listen,
right.
Eric, man, you made the prediction.
Yeah,
Let's see. Let's see if the Sting is hot enough to come out during the playoffs and say,
right,
really laid an egg last year.
right.
Let's just take it
Let's just
from
take
the
it.
from the opening playoff whistle. Let's
Right.
just win series and see how far we can go. So
All right. Appreciate everybody who watches, all the support. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We are close. We are close to 6,000 subscribers. So let's get there. And other than that, I will see you guys in about 3 hours. The Dolphins live stream starts. It looks at the clock, says, "Oh God, maybe I should eat breakfast." And that's a 4 hour. That's the full game stream. So that's 4 or 5 hours. It is. Hey, we're in it now. We're in it now. I can't stop now. When Tom Grossi rates your first ever football stream, you don't stop. That's you don't drop the mic on that. You know what I mean? You keep going. So, all right, appreciate all the support, and we'll see you again soon.